happening. So then, we've heard the name Jamaica Violence Prevention, Peace and Sustainable Development Program. And you know, we have no shortage of programs in Jamaica, do we? Eh? If it was for program alone, we would be okay. And so what I want you to think about as you're hearing of this particular program is the so what. So what that we have had, can have, are doing a closing exercise for, but in no way are declaring ended, a process for violence prevention, peace, and sustainable development. So what? So what in terms of you as an individual? Because it will only have had any benefit if it is that you see yourself in it and how and what you can make of the ideals of violence prevention, peace, and sustainable development. So let's hear more about what has been involved in this program so that perhaps you might see yourself in it. So let me invite Jonathan Burke, who is the program manager for the project management unit in the Ministry of National Security for this program, to give a more detailed overview.
Thank you, Carol. Akiko Fudi, Deputy Resident Representative, Dan Martin-Bush, Permanent Secretary, Acting Ministry of National Security. So Sean Osner, the Supervising Program Officer, USAID. And at this stage, I'm going to say all other protocols observed, because if not, I'm going to have to individually introduce all of you, because as Carol said earlier, you're all equally important and are part of this family. I have been given 5 minutes to give an overview of over 3 years of work. So let me begin. Although I was getting worried that between Akiko, Courtney, and Carol, they'll say everything that I have to say. So let me begin. I want to go through just output by output. We have 5 outputs, some of the achievements that we made under this program. So under the first output, which is enhanced design of armed violence prevention policies and programs, the program has successfully supported both financially and through technical assistance the development of the National Crime Prevention and Community Safety Strategy and draft restorative justice policy. The program has contributed to a new emphasis on evidence-based policy making on violence prevention. Initially, this was through the work of the Violence Prevention Alliance, which has paved the way for the development of a national crime observatory. More recently, it has been through supporting an interagency data gathering process to select 100 priority volatile and vulnerable communities for the implementation of the crime prevention and the community renewal program. This has helped to develop new ways of partnership, working between government agencies, and now provides a baseline against which progress can be measured. Output 2 is the increased capacity of institutions to prevent armed violence and increase community safety. Some of the achievements under this output: the program has had a major focus on capacity building of government and partners. National technical advisors have played critical roles in the Ministry of National Security and Ministry of Justice on the development of policy and programs. A mark of their value and the sustainability of the approach is that both are now being retained by their ministries beyond the lifespan of this program. As Courtney has said, the PMU has played a useful supporting role to the crime prevention and community safety units in the MNS. This has helped support the implementation of priority actions in the crime prevention and community safety strategy and facilitated the development of new partnerships with other ministries and agencies that will be important going forward for joint action on violence prevention. The capacity of SDC's research unit has been significantly enhanced through the program. Through the provision of equipment and training, SDC is now able to map the valuable data it collects in its community profiles using GIS. A website has been created to make these maps widely available to the public. The third output is increased effectiveness and coherence of international support to armed violence prevention policies and programs. The program has supported UNDP's coordination of the International Donor Partner Security and Justice Working Group to increase the harmonization of donor assistance. It funded a study commissioned by PIOJ and mandated by the Prime Minister on lessons learned from 10 community security programs in Jamaica. The findings and recommendations of this support have led to a number of changes to increase the effectiveness of the government's response, including the integration of IDB-funded Citizen Security and Justice Programs and the DFID-funded Community Security Initiative. An increased focus on targeting interventions at high-risk people, and the ongoing development of an interagency coordinating mechanism through the Community Renewal Program. I've only gone 2 minutes, I have 3 minutes. The fourth output is enhanced safety in target communities. The program has had a real impact, perhaps where it counts, at the community level. Initially, we supported a broad range of NGOs, KSAP, ROC, YVP, DPA, ICJS, working on violence prevention at the community level. The focus was then put on working in greater depth with the communities of Jonestown and Trenchtown, and Jonestown included Torrington Park and Trenchtown included Rosewood. To identify needs and develop community safety plans, significant capacity building has been provided to the community development committees through SDC, and the support was then provided to implement priority actions identified by the communities in their plans. And this support is going to continue throughout the donor partners USA discussion. The major focus has been on creating alternative livelihoods. An economic survey was carried out in both communities, and JVPPSD have provided entrepreneurial training to approximately 250 youth and local businesses. The program has also supported the development of JAMIN, as you're going to hear later, as a hub for the engagement of youth in the area of music. We see the potential of the studio in providing the youth with an outlet for their talent, providing support to turn that talent into economic opportunity, and leveraging the great musical tradition of Trenchtown as a hub for community tourism. But I don't want to take away from Dr. Henry Morgan. I'm sure he's going to speak more to that. Innovative work has also been done with JCF and STC to strengthen the community-based policing at the local level. This work will continue as a key focus on the crime prevention strategy and the community renewal program. It should be noted that, and again I'm stealing, I'm sure, from Dr. Henry Morgan, but between 2005 and 2009, the homicide rate dropped in Trenchtown or West Kingston to over 64.7%. We cannot claim, and I know the JCF has been truly responsible for most of that, but we are part of that also, and that's a significant, and we're proud to have played what little part we did. Output 5, the last output, development of UN country team program on armed violence prevention. UNDP, working with other UN agencies and national partners, launched the Jamaica Partners for Peace in 2009 as a web-based network or a community of practice for people working on violence prevention. The network has grown significantly, now having an excellent resource library, and the work will continue with UNDP, and it's a great platform that has been started. Finally, the final objective of the UNDP program was to develop an integrated UN country team program, and this is now happening through the forthcoming UN GOJ Armed Violence Prevention program. It's still in the making, but as I think the PS and Akiko Fubi has said, this is not an ending, it's a beginning of sorts, or continuation. So this ends my official review. So now, I still have a minute and a half. I would like to say on a personal level, it's been a great pleasure managing this program. And perhaps one of the lessons that I have learned, and I wondered, first of all, I'm not trying to look for a job, but why they call the Ministry of National Security a super ministry? And I think it's because of the individual people that work, that carry out the mandate of the ministry. And it's the same thing that I've met with STC, with the police. I have met some extraordinary people that carry out the work, and nobody is really trumpeting their triumphs. So it's been a great honor. I think STC, I don't know why it isn't on front page every day. The way they work, it's been a great honor to work with them. And also the police. I have met some great policemen, and in a meeting in Rosestown, we were talking about some of the challenges of the way police sometimes do come into the communities, and in not the best of ways. And we were able to discuss maybe from their viewpoint and trying to see it from the eyes of the police. And I just want to say, I think that through my experience, I think that we, just like Still We Are to Show Them Jah Love, the song. When we love, we have to include the police. We have to really show them love, because it's almost, at some stages, like they are the enemy. And when we're talking about community policing, we have to take this standpoint that they are one of us too. And Rosetown admitted that they have many police living in their community. So one of the lessons that, and the things that I would like to leave with is that when we talk about one love, if we expect love to be shown back to us, we have to give it to them also. And I have met some brilliant police, since I've got half a minute here, when we did the workshop, I met, and some of you were at the workshop actually, developing the community safety plans. And one young fellow from Trenchtown, when we were going to have the exercise where you have to meet each other, this young man was standing next to another young man. So when the other young man introduced him as, I'm officer such and such, or corporal such and such, the poor fella just prayed. It's the first time he's been so close to a police officer. And it was an amazing development because they were able to share. And I could speak for hours about individual stories of police success at the community level. But we don't hear these out on the newspaper. We only hear sensational stuff. So I know, and that the work will continue, and we're going to embrace on the same spirit as we began, is one of love. Thank you very much.